As the leader of the Booner Pad, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juice pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports. Jeff and Booner. It's Monday, October 6th. It's Victory Monday. All right, we are back. We are back. I love the hat, too. Pistons are playing tonight.
He wore it on purpose.
You know what? Love it, Boone. Pistons season's almost here. Lions get a victory over the Bengals. We'll break that down today. A lot of things to take away from it. Dan Campbell gave some updates on injured players. We'll get to that. It's a good day. I mean, we've had 4 Victory Mondays so far. Or Victory, whatever. Tuesdays, Mondays. I don't think they played Thursday. No,
but we will very soon.
4 different Victory days. So let's go.
Just Victory days in general are like the greatest things of all time. I was thinking, I've done 4 Kool-Aid videos already this year. Last year I did 15. I'm already at 4 this year, and I was driving
load management or something at some point.
I don't know. I did ask yesterday. I said, "Hey, who wants to do the Kool-Aid video for me today?" Because it gets going a little bit. I mean, I'm fired up always after games. I wish too. It's really funny. The people before, like Klotz might record because Klotz is my camera guy. People don't know. Before the Kool-Aid videos, me getting prepared for them, like getting in the mindset of like, here we go. I wish people, maybe one of these days, like at the end of the season, I'll do a compilation of the 30 seconds leading up to the Kool-Aid videos. Because you can't just get, you just can't yell. You got to get in like a zone. You know what I mean? You have to be in a zone to be able to knock out a video like that. Because as much as people want, like, listen, Jeff, it's one take. I don't have a second chance when I dump Kool-Aid and smash beers. There's no second chance. I don't get one. It's one take. That's why sometimes in the videos there's like I have some mistakes. I missay something, Like 2 years ago, dude, I said I think the wrong record, and like everyone, like there was probably 1,000+ comments like this guy said the wrong record. Like, yeah, I get one take, bud.
Well, it's like Panay Sewell, like pregame speech. He just turns from a nice guy to a killer.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Klotz, and Klotz sees me just firsthand, just like it's like I turn into a demon for 40, 50 seconds, and it's just like, oh, this, and he sent a couple videos in the group chat of him just before, and it's something.
Yeah, the Kool-Aid videos, we had reaction videos going out. If you're not following us on social media platforms, I don't know what you're doing. You should be already. They had this is my favorite part of victories is the Dan Campbell postgame locker room speech. It's my favorite. It's become now my favorite thing. I look forward to it. And here's what Dan Campbell had to say after the game. You get to see who he gave the game balls to. So let's take a listen to the postgame speech from Dan here.
A lot and a safety and some change stop, man. That's big time defense, guys. That's the way to go. Give the defense a hand. We almost got 2, Jack. Well, yeah, I am so excited you are. I love it. I'm not going to go another week 2 and feel bad about a win. I'm not doing it. I'm not freaking doing it, man. That's a good win. Was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. We got things to clean up, and we will clean them up, guys. We're going to get better. We will clean them up. That's right. That's 4 in a row. 4-1. All right? And we're still going. We're still going. We don't stay the same. We're going to just continue to get better and better. I got 2 game balls. All right, on offense, 5 catches, 92 yards, 1 touchdown, blocked his ass off, Sam Laporta.
The thing that I love about this team is just everybody's so selfless. Everybody, they put themselves second and the team first. That's what the best part is. So, love you guys.
All right, this guy, to me, he was all over the field. 3 total tackles, 1 TFL, 3 pass defense, and 1 interception. Alex Andrew.
Hey, 24-hour rule. Enjoy it. Wins are hard to come by. Love y'all. Let's keep going, man.
Okay, great job. It's win number 4. Great job. Break it out, guys.
Never, ever, ever take a win for granted. I know there's plays we want back. Offense, defense, all of it. Never, ever in this league take a win for granted. 4-1. On to the next. Nice primetime opportunity for us. Let's go get another one. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3. Where? He said what he said.
Panay at the end of those videos, the best. I mean,
Sam Laporta.
Yeah. I mean, he was Yeah, well-deserved game balls, man. I mean, you could have gave out more game balls, though. There's a lot of guys that made plays. And I know the final score didn't tell the full story. They were never not in control of that football game. They were never not in control of that football game. Even when they scored 21 late in the game, those were just garbage time points. And, yeah, there were a couple blown plays, yeah. But it was kind of like the Browns game I brought up this morning. It's like the Browns game that at one point it was a one-score game or I think it was like a 10-point game. There was never a thought in my mind that the Lions were going to lose that game yesterday.
No.
So, it was a good feeling.
Dude, I was thinking about this. Actually, it was at the top of my page here. Sorry. By the way, just so people know, Caleb and Lukas Klotz just texted in our group chat anytime touchdown scores for the game tonight. They did Parker Washington and Noah Gray. I'm just like over here thinking I have to do it. I think I have to, right?
Parker Washington as a first touchdown score.
I'm doing it. I'm just going to do it as a normal touchdown score. Actually, I'll do both. I'll sprinkle on first and both.
I mean, Klotz and Caleb, I'm sick of these guys because they keep calling these random guys and it keeps working.
Yeah, but like every time I do it, I put it on and never hits.
But if we don't,
Exactly. So that's why I have to do it. And I just did it. I just did both anytime touchdown and first touchdown for both of them.
What is Parker Washington doesn't even have a touchdown this year.
Does he have a catch?
He was 2 targets, no catches last week.
Oh, and they both did it too. They both
Noah Gray on the other hand.
I did Noah Gray anytime, and I also had this is the problem. They text right before, like 2 minutes before the games. I put my bets in 2 hours ago, so I already have Xavier Worthy. I already have Travis Kelce, and I already have Travis Etienne anytime touchdown scores. I have 3 touchdown scores, and then they text and they go, "Hey, what about these guys?" And you can't not do it. You have to do it. Yep. Do you know what I'm saying?
You have to. You can't let the boys. When the boys put in a big bet, you just
no. Because then if you're not in on it, you're juiced. You're done. You know?
Yeah. Well, there you go. They got Monday Night Football night. You get to watch the Chiefs. So you should have the game on while you're watching us. Get to see what the Lions get to face. That's their next opponent.
Yeah. What I was saying before, though, Jeff, is I wrote down at the top of my notes here for tonight and for like Victory Monday, post game, all of that. The fact that this Lions team just keeps beating teams. Like, I know they're not great teams, right? Like the Bengals, Jake Browning, the Brown. They keep beating these teams by 20, 30 points. Like, they just keep dominating teams. And it's like there's issues that are wrong within this team, and they just keep winning by double digits. It's one of the most incredible. This is like what you see some of these teams the last 2 or 3 years that won Super Bowls. They dominate like this. And I know we saw it last year with the 15-win season, but like the schedule wasn't that great. And you can't say like the schedule's the best now because you did like looking at the Ravens now, but just the fact that like there are issues on this football team. And like Dan said, in the post game a couple times, like there are things we need to clean up. And Derek Barnes, a lot of the guys actually said it in their post game yesterday where they were like, hey, there's a million things that we can clean up. Like we have to figure so much out still. And like they're saying those things and you're still winning football games, not just by a possession, by multiple possessions and dominating. Like where teams just are like there was a moment yesterday, I think they cut it to 10 and we were like, all right, game, obviously, you want to be like, game's not over. Let's not jinx this thing. But in the back of all of our heads, like, dude, we know this game's been over since the coin toss, right? Like since the coin toss, this game's been done. And the fact that they are making all these million mistakes still, and they're like, we need to work on a lot still, and they're winning these games, I think it's incredible. I think it shows how good of a football team this can be. And if they fix those things and they're Jeff, if they're running on all cylinders at the right time this year, come December, January, February, and they are firing on every cylinder, this might be the greatest football team of all time. I don't know how else to put it. They're so good. Dude, they're so good. Are they not?
No,
this team is incredible.
No,
this is the best Lions. We thought last year's Lions team was good before the injuries. Dude, take all the injuries and put them back on the squad last year. If you take this year's roster and this team and last year's roster and last year's team and they were all healthy, this year's roster would beat last year's team by 4 touchdowns. Okay, maybe not 4, but they would beat them. They would beat them.
Well,
and then that's me being like at their peak. because we're not seeing their peak right now. We're seeing like, hey, there's a lot of mistakes. The secondary a little bit. Offensively, the offensive line's not great right now. There's a lot of things throughout the show we're going to talk about. But at the end of the day, if they can hit their peak in January, Jeff, no one wants to play this football team.
Well,
no one does. That's why they're the second favorite right now to win to win the Super Bowl all of a sudden.
No, what you said though is there's true to if they have to hit the peak at the right time. I'm not saying they're like peaking, or I'm not trying to suggest that. That's in football though. You want to hit, and Dan Campbell said this a lot. You want to hit your peak. You want to play your best football going into the playoffs. Last year, injuries kind of derailed them, so it's hard to even say, well, they didn't play their best football against the Commanders. Well, they weren't good enough to beat they just were. At that point, you had a practice squad defense, and Jared Goff turned the ball over too much. So I can't really use that as an example, but you can't peak too early. They're taking care of who they're supposed to take care of. But you don't see that consistently in the NFL. Like, I want people to really understand that the Lions blow out teams they're supposed to beat. That's like college. It's giving a college feel where it's like you see these lines on sports books where, you're facing like Middle Tennessee State and you're like a, 17.5 point favorite, 23.5 point favorite, whatever it is. The Lions are like 10-point favorites beating teams by a good amount. I mean, the Browns they took care of, Bears they took care of, Bengals they took care of. I know they clawed back late, but still, like they don't really see teams consistently blowing out teams like this. It just doesn't really happen as often. Like you'll see it here and there. Chiefs blew out the Ravens, but I don't know. It's impressive, honestly. And that's something about Dan Campbell they've been able to do is they don't overlook teams and they put the foot on the pedal against these teams, man. They blew them out last year, blew out all the bad teams last year. Now, what I want to see, and I cannot wait to see, is this next stretch of football, because you have a tough stretch coming up. And, again, the injuries are popping up, not as bad as last year, but they're popping up. And Dan Campbell spoke about it. We'll talk Taylor Decker, because that was the big one. He spoke about it last night after the game. He was asked about Taylor Decker. Giovanni Manu played. We'll get to Gio later in the show and the offense and stuff, but just Taylor Decker. Go on.
This is okay. I know we're about to get into something else here real quick, because I just found something out.
Go on.
This is non-Lions related breaking news, and I don't know if it's breaking if people knew this. Did you know in the next couple of years there was an acquisition today that Comerica Bank got bought out? That Comerica Park's going to change their name by 2027.
I did not see that.
I just found that out 2 minutes ago. How great! Fifth Third Bank bought Comerica Park. So either they're going to change it probably to the Fifth Third Bank Field or Park, or they're going to find a new person to a new company, I would guess. I haven't been able to read articles. I guess there's probably people out there who cover, like Tony Paul, and people who cover the Tigers who probably know more in depth on what's going to happen with that. If it's going to be that company, or if it's going to be if they're going to, try and sell it to the rights to a different company. But I just thought that was interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I did not know that. Fifth Third Bank.
My cousin texted me and said we should put a bid in for the name, and we should do Crunch Time Park.
Yeah, what's the bid starting at? Let me hear it.
That's what I'm saying. But like, how crazy! I don't want it to change. I want it to be Comerica Park forever.
Yeah, well, it's the nostalgia. It's like, that's what happened.
That's
it's
the
like
worst, dude.
That Staples Center, all over, not the same, by the way, but this way bigger scale Staples Center. Now it's Crypto.com
Staples Center was iconic. It was iconic. Did you know Arrowhead isn't actually Arrowhead anymore? It's Arrowhead Field, and the stadium's a different name now. It's this money, greedy people. All they want is money. I hate that.
That's the world, man.
Maybe do something nice for people one day. Screw the money. That's just like that sign. They took the Tiger sign out of left field. Illich is over there being like, I need a couple extra bucks, and gets rid of the nice Tiger sign in left field. And they go out there and sell it to someone. Absolute bums. And they won't pay Tarek Skubal. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, let's make more money and ruin the fan experience. And then, you know what? We're not going to pay our players.
Well, Chris Illich might need Fifth Third Bank. Take out a fucking massive loan and pay Tarek Skubal, please. Call it Skubal Stadium.
Something. Can we do something cool? Can we just I don't know. Maybe you know what we should do? We should should keep it Comerica Park. We'll buy the rights of Comerica's name, but we'll do it with the K instead of a C, and then it could still be called Comerica Park, and it's just with the K. I hate one of my American Airlines arena in Miami. They switched it. They switched it to crypto, or they did like some crypto thing. FX Arena or something. Like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean that's how it goes, man.
It's the worst, man.
Yeah, I know. Yep, it's Staples Center will always be Staples
Should
Center.
be illegal. Yeah, and now it's Crypto Arena, or I don't know what it is.
It's ridiculous. It's dumb. It's ridiculous.
And crypto, they scammed everyone. Anyways.
What? There's crypto scamming everyone?
Didn't they? Or what's that company that scammed and took like billions from like Tom Brady lost like 100 million?
Oh, there's a lot.
What is that? Crypto.com or FX or
I don't know.
FXT or something?
I don't know, but that's why you got to watch when you get into that.
It was the name of the Miami arena, that company, and they scammed everyone. They took everyone's money, and then they were all like, "Where's our money?" And they're like, "Where is it? We don't know."
Yeah, no,
we thought you knew. Oh, we thought you knew.
Happens. It does. All right. Well, I did not know that, so shout out to you for that. I didn't know that they got bought out.
And all these patches on the uniforms, man. It's ridiculous, dude. Like the Red Wings putting the garbage truck sponsor on there, or whoever, whatever it is. It's just ridiculous these days, man. People just have no respect for life anymore.
Are you done?
No, I don't know. You know what? I could keep going all day. I'm just in a good thing the Lions are good, and you know that fires me up. Yeah, I've had some coffee tonight. If you haven't,
still Ford Field, so that makes you happy. There you go. You still got
I'm sure it's gonna. Well, actually, no, they actually renewed, which is crazy. They're like, we're gonna renew. You own the team. What are you talking about? You have to renew. You own the team.
Well, we're about to find out if Taylor Decker, how many more times he'll be playing at Ford Field in the next year. Will he have another year at Ford Field, do you think? I don't know.
I don't know. Are we talking about it right now?
Yeah, I mean, I want to play the clip of Dan Campbell speaking about it.
Let's do it, because I have something to talk about with this offensive line, Jeff Iafrate.
All right, let's do it. Here's Dan Campbell speaking about Taylor Decker's injury, and then he also spoke about who's going to fill the void now without him. So let's play the clip. Here's Dan Campbell.
The recovery has not. It's been less and less. He has not been able to quite catch up to. We feel like there's diminishing returns every week. Man, it's just a little, and we just felt like, man, we need to give this guy a little time, and I don't know how long, but this is so we get him back. That's what this is, man. Let's get this thing calmed down. Let's get some strength back in the shoulder to where he feels good. And so all of this is for a positive. We just felt like, man, coming down the wire yesterday, today, man, we need to back off of this and let's be smart with it. And so, so in that regard, I feel good. The recovery has not.
So Taylor Decker missed practice again this week, and I think initially we were thinking, well, it's normal. He misses practice pretty much every week, still plays. He did not play in the game. They had Giovanni Manu. But just to focus on Taylor Decker and his future, I think we're approaching I said this morning. I think we're approaching the point with Taylor Decker where he's getting kind of that Frank Ragnow tier, where he's always hurt, and it's not that he plays, but it's like I start to think how many more years we're getting out of Taylor Decker. Like I seriously think that, because he's sustained a lot of injuries, and he's 30 years old. I wonder how long, in Taylor Decker's mind, he just watched one of his best friends hang it up due to all the lingering injuries. I wonder how long, like the question I guess I would ask is, Taylor Decker has how many years left on his contract? Let me see this. He's signed through, he has 2 more years. He has 2026, 2027. Does he even finish that contract? That's a good
question, actually. I think there would be a conversation. I know Frank, you knew with Frank, like, hey, that might happen, but you do have to, like, I would think with Taylor Decker with the opt-out, if there's any like thought of him wanting to retire here, you would hope that he talks to Brad about it so they can opt out, or, that I don't know how the financials would work. I feel like if you opted out, you would probably save more money than him just retiring. No?
I do not know. There is an out in 2026.
Which is this next year coming up after this season, I believe.
Yes, there is an out.
I am interested. I mean, Dan did say, like, at the end of the day, Dan did say last week. He was like, I think Dan compared it to the Frank thing where it was just like, hey, he's a guy, he's kind of in that Frank situation to where he's going to need some time to recover with these injuries. He is a little bit older. Do I think he'll retire after this year? No. I think you'll get one more year out of Frank, minimum. I don't know how far he wants to go. I think next year you can get it out of him. I think it's just one of those things where with Brad, the thing with Brad with Frank is you knew Frank over the last few years was going to end up getting to a point at some point he's going to want to retire. And then same with that other guard position when you did lose Jonah Jackson, you knew, hey, Zeitler's in on a 1-year deal. I think Brad has done a good job right now with Tate replacing, these guys. I don't think Brad's done a good job, quite frankly, when you talk about as a whole with this offensive line to rebuild it. Because, with Tate, you have a rookie in there instantly having to go, right? You knew, hey, Taylor Decker is going to get old at some point. Maybe you should have drafted a tackle over the last 2 seasons. I'm not saying just like first, second round, just like a developmental guy, which I guess he has with Manu, so I take that back a little bit, and kind of a little bit of a swing and a miss there. But when it comes to some of these guys, you would think that, hey, we got to get someone that can play center. We got to get another guard. You got to get another left tackle. That's just been something that I feel like maybe they haven't prioritized, even though they've gone after the Miles Frazier's. Christian Mahogany is actually a good one. I think it's just more so hey, this year in the first 2 rounds, you have to get an offensive tackle. You have to, because hey, you probably only have 1 year left of Taylor Decker at that point. So you have to prioritize going into this year. I know Brad isn't a guy that goes into drafts being like, hey, we're going to draft for need. But I do think he does do that. He did that with corner last year and drafted 2 corners. You can't tell me with a straight face, as Brad tried to do in a press conference, that Terion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw were just BPA when they were on the board. There's no way. There was other players that were probably BPA better than those 2 guys. They obviously knew they needed corner and went 2 corners. I think this year you have to do that with offensive tackle. I think that should be a priority at the start of the season or at the start of the draft, being like, we know Taylor's going down. Because what I don't want to happen is them to be like, oh no, Frank Ragnow retired. Okay, we know he might retire. Oh, we only just got Tate Ratledge, who's supposed to be our, future center potentially. And now we have to try and work him in. Oh, now we have to move Graham over. That felt like kind of a little bit of a miscalculation, in my opinion. I don't want them to do that with Taylor Decker, to where, say they don't go tackle in the first, second round this year, and then Taylor retires, and the next year you have a rookie left tackle, or you have to move Panay, and you have a rookie right tackle. That's what I don't want to run into. So I think this year it's just, hey, it needs to be a priority to figure out that tackle position and also a replacement for Graham Glasgow, whether that's Tate and then a new guard, or that's a legit center at some point in the draft next year.
Yeah, I think Panay's going to end up being your future left tackle. That's just a given. He's going to be your future left tackle. So, I guess when you look at, he should be, at least in my opinion. But when you look at Taylor, I don't know how much time Taylor has. I would agree with you. You'd like to think he has 1 more year. But he's going to be out for, a next couple of weeks. It's probably going to be more of a week-to-week thing, more of a feel thing. I know Dan talked about it. We're just focused on, we're trying to see where he's at in the next couple of weeks. He didn't really give a clear answer on it. He was more clear with TA than he was Taylor. But I think that what we know is Giovanni Manu has not shown he could be your starting tackle. So we have to figure out, where do they go from here? Well, in the draft, whether you're drafting a right tackle or a left tackle, they have to draft a tackle at some. They have to draft a tackle early. They did it.
I think a tackle and another interior player. I think.
And they did it with Tate Ratledge. They Kevin Zeitler left. They took a guard in the 2nd round. I mean, I don't think you drafted him on need, but to your point, it's they needed a guard. And they got Tate Ratledge.
I think first round, I think no matter what, Jeff, tackle next year. And then I think when you look from 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, that 2nd to 4th round, how you got Christian Mahogany and Tate, I think you just go out there. I know a lot of people in the chat are saying Miles Frazier could play center. To me, he's just an interior.
We don't guard and Tate play center either way.
Yeah, but we haven't seen Miles Frazier yet. We don't know what that is, and we don't know what Tate is at center. So I just think it's more so hey, you do need I think that it's just I think what people need to understand, it's not a bad thing to keep drafting offensive linemen, because in my opinion, that's how you keep this team relevant. You saw week 1 with how bad the Lions offensive line played and what this team looked like week 1 because the offensive line was so bad and Jared wasn't able to get stuff going. You have to just prioritize this offensive line, in my opinion, a little too much. It's not, anything I'm saying here about replacing guys, nothing's negative towards it. I think it's just about being hey, this needs to be a priority and some. to make sure this thing works. And worst case scenario, right? Guys, all these, you draft another guard, you have Miles Frazier, you have another tackle, and you have like 7 guys that can actually play. Now you have depth, you know, and you know it's inevitable for offensive linemen to get injured. Now you just have depth at that point. So it's never a bad thing.
And there's going to be really, and here's the thing that makes both arguments work. If you want to say, well, like Steve, like guys that go BPA, they don't go need, there's going to be a lot of good tackles in this next draft. There's going to be a lot of good tackles. So it lines up that way to where you can draft a tackle and the draft is filled with really good tackles. At least, again, I don't know how Brad feels about it, but most would agree this is a pretty good tackle draft, offensive line draft. We'll see. They're going to be picked at the end of the first round, but the Chiefs just got Josh Simmons at the end of the first round. And look at him. He's been really good for them. So you could still grab a tackle in the first round. I have no problem taking offensive linemen every single year. It's making a strength to your point. And it's one of the hardest positions to have depth for is offensive line. So if you can get good ones, you're better off that way.
And
you are.
Let's call it spade to spade. Let's talk offensive line from yesterday, Jeff. Let's call it spade to spade. O-line wasn't great. I don't know if you have grades. If you could pull up like Tate's and some of these guys' grades, like the left tackle, like you have no depth at tackle right now. 0. None. You have Giovanni Manu who's starting right now. His PFF grade, I told you this before, and I know you said you went back and rewatched it, and it wasn't as maybe, you know, PFF is obviously.
It wasn't great. But
me and you do talk about the grades that we look at the most when it comes to PFF is offensive line because they do grade, you know, giving up pressures and certain things like that. PFF yesterday, I mean, Giovanni Manu had a 42.2 overall grade. He had a 55.3 run grade, but he had a 17.5 pass block grade yesterday. That might be an all-time worst pass block grade. All-time worst. And Jared Goff was able to figure something out and, you know, still have a day and throw for 250 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns. Like he was still able to do that. But that's your next man up off the bench coming in at tackle is Giovanni Manu, and he had a 17.5 pass block grade. And I know it was going up against Trey, and like there's caveats to it. And I'm sure once the film comes on, it's a little bit better. There is concern there, though. Like the offensive line wasn't great yesterday, especially like when D-Mont was running. There wasn't a lot of push. There wasn't a lot of movement besides a couple here and there. But in the first half, that wasn't great. So I think that's something that needs to kind of get figured out here going forward, especially if Tate's going to be injured. They got to figure that. Maybe they trade. Would you be shocked if they trade for an offensive tackle?
It depends how long the Decker stuff is, I guess.
Yeah.
And here's honestly because I'll show you the grades. Dan spoke about yesterday in the offensive lineman. So here's what he had to say about Giovanni Manu and who they could go with next week at left tackle. Let's take a listen to it.
Thought that maybe Manu could start against Kansas City, just give Decker a little bit more time to rest.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. You know, we're going to look at everything here. You know, certainly Skip's back. You know, so we'll look at Skip. We brought Devin Cochran today. He's a candidate, and then we'll see where Decker's at. Obviously, that's always going to be our first choice is see where Decker is. But I don't want to put Decker out there if it means that we get a couple of games and we don't have him for the rest of the year. It makes no sense. So we'll play this smart. We'll do what's right, and then next man up. If it's not him, it's next man up. Whether that is Manu again, we'll see. Or is it one of those other 2 guys I just mentioned?
Yeah, so he spoke about it. He wasn't. They're going to compete this week, all those guys. I mean, he hasn't given a spot yet. So it's not like Giovanni Manu is guaranteed to start. Cochran, they did sign Devin Cochran. He's a left tackle. I don't know if he'll beat out and start, but he's depth. They brought him in. He's 6'7", so he's a big dude.
Yeah, I just looked up Devin Cochran on ESPN and on Google. His picture is Taylor Decker.
Well, he actually played for the Bengals the last 3 seasons, it says. So
does he have any starts? I'm interested to see how many starts he has.
Let me see.
He played 1 game, or he played in 9 games in 2024. So last season, 9 games. He had 1 start,
and it wasn't great.
Yeah,
but that's why that's why he's depth, though.
Can I get your opinion on something with this tackle spot?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you the grades real quick before you want me, because I'll tell you. So you mentioned Giovanni Manu was the lowest graded offensive player, but behind Brock Wright. Brock Wright was down there too because Brock allowed a sack, and he caught the touchdown, but just passed. This is just blocking. Brock Wright was the second lowest graded player. Giovanni Manu was the lowest. Let me see. Tate Ratledge he had a 49. pass blocking grade is 63 run blocking. So Tate was all right. He had some moments. He allowed a sack, it says on PFF. Your highest graded players, though, Christian Mahogany, highest graded blocker.
Love that.
He was amazing. Panay Sewell is up there, of course, and then Graham was better pass blocking than he was run blocking. But it was really the two guys that didn't have a good game was really Tate and Giovanni. And Giovanni was the worst graded blocker on here in pass blocking by far. I mean, he did not have a great day. So he was actually a better run blocker. I mean, his run blocking is more even with some of the other guys, but his pass blocking was terrible.
But I think the run blocking overall, I could be wrong, Jeff. It felt like that was a little bit lower than it usually is.
Yeah, no, for sure. They stay. Like, you could tell the Bengals stacked the box a lot. They didn't want them. That's why Jared got whatever he wanted in the passing game. They did exactly what the Browns did. They just stacked the box. They're like, you're not running all over us. And the Lions just ate them up in the passing game. And Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra had both 100 yards, basically. But yeah, just those are the grades. But what's your question? What were you going to ask?
So this is my thought process. And I know the next 2 weeks, 2 tough games. You have the Chiefs and then you have the Bucs. You do have a bye. And then off the bye, you have the Vikings, who obviously they did win, but struggling a little bit right now. I think this is just what I feel like. I don't know what this injury, how bad it is, what it is. I think the Detroit Lions maybe not throw Taylor Decker on IR because, as the doc has mentioned to us, you only get a certain amount of players and times you can put, you only have a certain amount of slots you can throw on IR throughout the season, so you don't want to just waste them. I think you just sit Taylor Decker until after the bye, or maybe even after that Minnesota game. And if you want to throw him on IR, okay, if that kind of helps to bring guys up and open up spots. I just don't see a world, Jeff, if I'm just dead serious with you, I don't see a world come down the stretch in January and February where if you somehow let Taylor Decker come back early, he's not fully healed, you can't get him back healthy. If you don't have a Taylor Decker at left tackle come January, February, you know how hard it's going to be to win a Super Bowl? Like Gio struggled yesterday. Who's going to be at your left tackle to go win a Super Bowl? Who?
Yeah, you don't want that problem.
And you're going to go up against, like, think about who potentially in the playoffs, the Rams, the Bucks, the Eagles, and then you might have to go up against, the Bills or the Chiefs, who have great edge rushers and great pass rush. You need a guy like Taylor Decker. And that's to my point earlier, where when you watch yesterday's game, Gio struggled a lot, and it was evident. And it was like even the week before when Taylor Decker was a little hurt, that offense wasn't getting things going fully unless it was a shorter field. Unless you're going to trade for a tackle and you're going to say, well, there's a team that's, has a starting tackle that they're going to end up selling at the deadline. And they're like, okay, you can bring him in and then you have him and Taylor. And if Taylor's hurt or if he's hurt, you can move things around a little bit. Look at the Chiefs last year. They lost the Super Bowl. Remember, they were moving their offensive line around a bunch and they could not. I think they're one of their interior all guards moved to tackle last year during the Super Bowl or during the playoff run. And he got eaten up. He got eaten up versus the Eagles, and they lose the Super Bowl because of it. So I think that needs to be a priority. I would be willing, to be honest, to let Taylor Decker just get fully healthy over the next 4 or 5 weeks and try and scrape by and go 2-2 and 3-1, whatever you need to do, and just go out there and just say, hey, we're gonna, as long as we have Taylor in January, February, we're good to go.
Well, that's the risk you have to think about, because the big part is what you said is the risk of playing them and potentially making it worse. I mean, the quote I always say, like Shannon Sharp always says this, is one of my favorite things ever. If you limp into a football season, you're probably going to limp out of it. Yeah. So you have to be very, very cautious with, like we just saw it with TA. TA got hurt, played the next week. He's out for a while. Like, it's just like, that's where you have to weigh the risk, to your point. And the Lions have an earlier bye week. Like, it's not early, but it's not a late bye week. So after this bye week, it's full go all until the end of the season. So it's like, if you're trying to be careful with Taylor Decker, it's like, does he miss the next 2 games and you use the bye week and give him what? That'd be 4 weeks rest. Or do you make him play and then give him a break during the bye week, but then risk making it worse? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know, but I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying though, because it's a risk. I mean, if you don't have him, it's going to be tough.
And if you know that he's going to potentially be down and he's struggling through injuries all season, and hey, there's even a 50% chance that Taylor's going to have to be in and out throughout the year, like, you have to go out and get someone. You have to, and it doesn't have to be like a Pro Bowler, but you have to get someone that's capable starter outside of Giovanni Manu or Jamarco Jones or Dan Skipper, Because if you get into the playoffs and you lose a Taylor Decker, okay, yeah, like we've already seen they're not moving Penei over this year. Like they won't do it until maybe he's over there full time. You have to protect Jared Goff's blind side. And we saw yesterday Jared take that hit. It takes one more of those hits or a couple of those hits for Jared Goff. You know, you need Jared Goff to win a Super Bowl. You got to protect him. And you need to protect him for him to play at a high level. And it's not going to cut it, in my opinion. So that's something I was thinking about last night and going into today. It was like, hey, they need to figure that situation out.
Hey,
they really do.
Did you hear what Jared said about Giovanni Manu? He's a pro.
He said it after the game?
No, he didn't say that, but Jared is a pro for how he handled it. Here's Jared on. They asked about Giovanni Manu's start. Here's what he had to say about it.
I thought he fought his tail off. It's hard, man. It's it's his first game, and everybody's first game. There's going to be mistakes made. And that's what I tried to tell him is, dude, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. It's okay. Like just as long as the next one is better, the next one you learn. So yeah, I thought he fought hard. I know there's a couple he'd like back, but I thought he did some good things in the run game, and even the pass game there was some good moments too. But he fought. I thought he fought his tail off.
Jared's a pro, man.
He's a pro, bro. He is actually. He's like, I don't think he's wrong though. Like, I'll stick up for your guy. Like, it is his first game versus Trey Hendrickson in his NFL career. Dude, we knew that he wasn't ready in training camp.
Yeah, and he had to play. I mean, it's a tough matchup. They had him. There was one play, the one sack he gave up. One of the sacks, Dave Montgomery. That was the play that we were watching, and Demon went inside and didn't go outside and chip him, and he was basically one-on-one with Trey, which is a tough task. That's a tough task.
Yeah.
And I think the positive, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I think the criticism's fair. I will say in run blocking though, that's why I think he was better, because the Demont touchdown run, he was actually out there in space blocking for him to get the touchdown. So I thought in run blocking he was better, but he's so big, man, and he just can't move quickly laterally. He's just not. Like, it's tough. Like, with guys that have a lot of bend, he's going to struggle because he's so big. He's so big. And
I do think there's a big gap between Taylor Decker and Penei moving. Those two, like as much as Taylor gets hurt and people are always not great, Taylor can move, man. Like, he can, sure. He's very, well, what's the word? Like,
he's fluid. He's more fluid.
Yeah, and you could tell that's why he's been a Pro Bowler. That's why he's been as good as he's been. You could tell with Gio. I don't know if it's something you can slowly get, and he can work on that until next year, but it's definitely not a I don't know. He did get to the second level a couple times, and we were all like, hold on now, Gio. So there were positives,
but it was not near enough to like. He's not you can't bank, like, you still got to go get a tackle. I mean, I
sure.
agree. You can't look at him as he's the solution right
Imagine right now you had Josh Simmons. Imagine you had Josh Simmons.
He's not watching.
We've talked about it. I mean, we all loved. I feel like we all love Josh Simmons. I had said during the draft. I said during the process, I would rather have Josh Simmons than Tyreek because you have Aleem. I've said that a couple times. Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. Yeah, dude. He's like one of the best offensive linemen on this Chiefs team, is he not? Right now?
Oh yeah, he's been really good. He has, and that's a thing. They're gonna have to prioritize going forward for sure. Is offensive tackle. Where I'm with you 1,000%. They got to figure that out. But we'll see. It's a storyline to kind of pay attention to. I do want to ask, like, besides offensive line, we kind of talked about. Was there anything else takeaway wise that you were impressed with? You want to go to? We can talk. I mean, there's a lot of things to get to, but we could go on defensive side of the ball and talk more about your defensive player of the year candidate.
I mean, I thought Hutch is incredible. Hutch is incredible. And by the way, I don't even want to do this to Hutch, not just like Hutch. Can we also give credit where credit's due? Like Derek Barnes, Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, Trevor Nowatzki.
Room in the league. Are they the best?
I've been saying this for a month now, and people will be like, I don't know, Boone. Wait. I've been saying it from top to bottom, and then you get Rodrigo back at some point this year. What are we like?
They could have. Incredible. They might have like 3. They might have like 4 starters in that room. Honestly. Yeah.
Like Nowatzki, everyone, and this is where I think like people, and again, let's do this. Let's do this. Take away, boom. Take away that I went to SVSU, right? Let's take the bias away. Trevor Nowatzki could start on half of the teams in the NFL as a linebacker, on half as a Sam. He goes in there in limited snaps. He dominates. Derek Barnes has been extremely good this year. As much as Klotz is like, oh, it's not worth the money. Derek Barnes has been great for the amount of money that you're paying. He's been great. Like every time you need Derek Barnes to make a play, or every time he's been in a position to make a play, what has he done over the last 3 weeks? He has done it every single time. And like he has gotten praise from every single player, every coach. And I know that's their job to do that. But you go back and watch the film. You're watching these games. It's like Derek Barnes everywhere. Like what his job is, like that Sam linebacker job. That's why last year, Jeff, me and you had the convo. I felt like we agreed on it a little bit. Like he got 3 or 4 games into it, and you started to see like spurts. You started to see the spurts of Derek Barnes, and he was getting comfortable in that position because he didn't play it since he was in college. He hasn't played it since then. And then all of a sudden, now this year, everyone's like, hey, let him get opportunities in that Sam spot and let him get a feel for it. And dude, he's been incredible at that spot. That's, you talk about going out, and I know Klotz brought up players that, got paid $4 or $5 million more than him. At the production you're getting out of him with the money that you have to pay other players, I think it is. I don't hate the price at this point. Through 4 weeks or 5 weeks, he's proven what you needed him to prove.
Well, they were always going to pay him based on what he could become. That's what they were paying him for.
You always said that too. His ceiling.
Yeah, they're paying him on his ceiling, and he I think this is how you can tell. I said this morning too. I think how you tell good defensive coordinators in the NFL and good coordinators in general. Are guys having career years under them? Like, are they better players because of the coordinators? And John Morton's actually having a really good effect on offensive guys. Derek Barnes, he's having a career year. Jack Campbell, career year. You can go across the board and talk about different players that are having career years under Kelvin Shepard. So, and again, he's a linebacker guy, so of course linebackers are thriving. But and some of the other guys you have, like Kirby and Brian, like we know they're great players. Aiden, we know they're great players. Tyleek looks really good as a rookie. Like guys are having career years, or at least really good years under Kelvin. Like that's how you can judge him. They're all playing really well. Same thing with bad OCs. Like bad OCs or bad DCs, guys are trash, not playing well. Like I love Aaron Glenn, but that Jets defense, no one out there's having a career year, man. Like
no, they've gotten worse.
That's an indictment on Aaron Glenn. Like it, but Steve, whoever they have, what's the guy over there, the DC they got from, I forgot his name. But they picked it, whoever it is. It's an indictment on the coordinator. It's an indictment on coaching. And I think the Lions have done a really good job getting guys to play better or play up to what you expect them to. And Derek Barnes, like I'm telling you, if he keeps improving like this, that contract, Steve Wilkes, thank you, AG's burner. But
that's what I thought it was. Didn't want to say. I thought I was going to be dead wrong.
Steve Wilkes, no, that was a good one. But a lot of guys are on pace to have career years under Calvin. So speaks volumes to what he's doing with his defense. Like Derek Barnes, what does he have? 2 sacks on the year. He's averaging like 7 tackles a game. Like, dude,
every single player, like everyone, it feels like.
By the way, Derek Barnes can play every linebacker spot.
Yeah,
everyone.
That's why I think the money. I know a lot of people with the money, but and Shep actually brought it up a week ago. He just said like we need to have a Derek Barnes. I think majority of these linebackers too. The good thing about them is the majority of them can play any position. Like Jack Campbell's played Sam his first year, and he's moved around a lot. Anzo can move around. Nowaski can play all the positions, and Derek Barnes can as well. And then you have Zach Campbell or Zach Cunningham. When Zach Cunningham's, I thought it was Noah Gray that just scored a touchdown, had the first touchdown score. That's Travis Kelce. But no, I think that's something on this team that deserves a lot of praise, is this linebacker room, because that's a room that's been challenged over the last 3 or 4 years. And can you do me a favor again, PFF favor? You're my PFF guy now going forward. I kind of, it's like Joe Rogan. Who's the Joe Rogan guy?
Jamie.
Yeah, pull this up for me real quick. Can you pull up the linebacker PFF grades for season? And then I'm also going to have you do this last week as well. Can we see the season?
Yep. Okay. So
who's the top 5? I just want to see. Is there any Lions in the top 10?
Let me see. PFF. You talking about like in the league or just on the team?
Linebackers in the league. Okay. Yeah. I want to see where some of our guys rank.
Okay. All right. So linebackers. Okay. So we'll start with the top. You have Fred Warner at 1. Jack Campbell is the second highest graded linebacker.
Wow. He's number 2 overall this year.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What are his grades? Where do his grades rank? Can you like click on the top and let them adjust to grade?
Yeah, his run defense is second. His pass rush looks like it's like top 10.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's about top 10. And then his coverage is 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like it's 10 or 11. So he's
the
like
highest on the Lions.
Well,
Coverage?
that's a different one. I'll pull that one up on the Lions here. And I think Anzo might be a little higher, but
I think Jack's higher. I'm pretty sure.
let me see. Let me see Anzo on here.
I think he's like five.
Oh
five
yeah,
higher.
he's 2 points higher.
Or 2. That's what it is.
Yep,
Okay.
because Anzo is actually he's a 21st ranked linebacker. So they have a top 2, top 21, and then a top 29. So they have 3 linebackers. All their starting linebackers are top 29 in the NFL on PFF.
Okay. So can we just throwing it out there, like through 5 weeks? I know we're not just going off PFF. I mean, he's top 5 in tackles. He has 2. I think he has 2 or 3 forced fumbles as well on the year, which is top 5 in the NFL. I think Jack Campbell, to my point last week, I said through 4 weeks, he's a top 5 linebacker and he's an all-pro linebacker through 4 weeks. I think adding even this game on where he had 11 total tackles, he had a forced fumble. Obviously, we didn't recover it. He's good in coverage. He's been good in the pass rush. He's been good in the run game. He's obviously the number 2 overall graded linebacker in the NFL right now, on top of also having the stats and statistics to go with it. And if you watch the film, it all tells the same thing. Jack Campbell's an all-pro linebacker right now. And he is. Like, there's not a question about it. And if he continues to do what he's doing right now through the next, through week 10, through week 15, this is the part that I said in the offseason when I said Jack's going to be all pro. Say, hey, he just needs to get his name out there a little bit. And it feels like that's starting to kind of form that way to where people are starting to, once you get on those national broadcasts, like if he has a game Sunday night, Jeff, versus the Chiefs on primetime, and it's like Jack Campbell forced fumble, Jack Campbell's flying around, that's when people start to notice and go, okay, wait a second. This is probably one of the best linebackers in the NFL. Because we know it through 5 weeks, he has been. Now you get that on the national stage and people start to see it a little bit. So I'm glad that it's coming into fruition finally. What is it? His 3rd season as a first-round draft pick. He's starting to look like a first-round draft pick right now. And we see now what his ceiling is.
Yeah, I'll give credit to Klotz. Klotz always said year 3 is when they shine. And year 3, he's shining. Like he's improved every single year.
You can't do that. You can't give credit to Klotz on Jack Campbell.
No, I'm not giving him credit on Jack. I'm just saying he always said that though. Like it's year 3. Remember we were hyped, but year 3 he meant like all pro breakout year 3. And that's really what's happening. I mean, he's year 3. Last year he was top 10 on PFF, like you said that. And this year he's one of the best linebackers in the league. Like it's just, I think early on, what people expect, I think people were looking at Jack.
I can't
as like
believe you gave Klotz
one.
any credit. That man always says Anzo's better. That's disrespectful from you.
Just on that take.
No. I don't ever want to hear you credit Klotz for anything with Jack Campbell ever again. Even the other day, he literally just said yesterday to me, Anzo's still better than him, with a dead straight face. Yeah, and you're trying to give him credit for get that out of here. I'm not going to allow you not to say credit to Booner and then say credit to Klotz.
Booner, I just started by saying credit to Booner. I mean,
No, you said credit to Klotz.
Well, we were talking to Jack Campbell, and you just went off about the all-pro thing. So you listen, I'm giving credit where credit's due.
By the way, this strange guy on the Jacksonville, never heard of him until this year. He is incredible.
Yeah, I need 3 catches.
He just got like a 30-yard catch. He's incredible, dude. Sorry to throw us off like that. I was just really pumped up about this strange guy getting that.
But they do have one of the best they have the best linebacker room, deepest one in the NFL for sure. I mean, there's not really a debate on that.
And then with Hutch too, defensively.
Mm-hmm. But so the defense. So can we talk a little Aidan Hutchinson because he's been Aidan Hutchinson's been elite.
Elite, dude.
Defensive player of the year. I mean, I want to see what's his odds to win defensive player of the year. He was tied for first. He should be first.
He's first. He's above. I have it right here for you. I was just looking at it just a little bit ago. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. They took it down. Why? Oh, the game's on right now. Oh, let me see if a different. Let me check real quick. Let's see if a different app has it. I think he was like plus 230. I think it was like a heavy favorite.
Yeah, well, if we're talking PFF, Aiden's the number 1 edge in PFF right now.
Yeah, so defensive player of the year. This is on DraftKings. I can't get any other ones. He's right now plus 300. Next highest is Micah Parsons at plus 320, who I think only has like 2.5 sacks this year. I think he's like pretty far behind. And then Myles Garrett plus 450, Nick Bonito, Will Anderson at plus 1,800. Aidan Hutchinson's a clear favorite at the moment. He's clear Clear.
Yeah, Myles Garrett hasn't had a sack in 2 weeks. So, I mean, he had 2 sacks a year against the Bengals, a sack and a half against the Ravens, half a sack against the Packers, and he hasn't had a sack against the Lions or the Vikings. So Aidan's playing better right now. He should be favored. He should be the favorite. And honestly, I'm just thinking of all the times he got robbed this year. I mean, he should have. He was robbed of probably 2 sacks, a sack or 2, and another forced fumble. So we're probably looking at like 6, 7 sacks and 4 forced fumbles on the year. Like,
imagine if he had 7 sacks right now through 5 games.
It's the same pace as last year. He had 7.5 through 4. I mean, he's
so.
Close. He's close.
What did he have through 5 last year?
I don't even know. Did he? He played. Oh, he had 7.5 through 5. But he got in. Did he get injured in the 5th game, or I don't know.
Well, what was the 5th game?
The Dallas game, and he did have a sack in that game when he got hurt too. He didn't finish the game, but
different though, dude. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he played in 5 games, 7.5 sacks last year. So he's a little behind pace. He's 2.5 sacks behind. But
he has more forced fumbles like on the year than he did last year.
Yeah, and you could make that argument too that he has 2 sacks or he really had like 3 taken away. One of them was his fault. So you could say like 2 from Brian Branch, I believe, and TA as well. Both.
Yeah, he should have 7. He should
be. The TA one was, I think, a safety, was it not?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Would have been a safety.
That's frustrating, dude. It has to be so frustrating for him.
Yeah, he's so Aidan Hutchinson, he's been incredible. He's gonna be paid. I'm telling you, he's gonna be higher. I mean, how do you, if you're Aidan, you're like, I'm getting more than Micah Parsons now. I mean, look at me.
For sure, dude.
I'm the best defensive player. I'm playing like the best defensive player in the league right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what are we doing here? He's balling, and he's the guy every week like this. I know he got to play against the Browns and the Bengals. He's going to play against the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. I don't think it really matters who's in front of him. Like, I think he's just the problem. I saw this stat, actually. Let me show you this. The Next Gen Stats. I didn't even know Next Gen put out this stuff for, like, edges, which I actually this was interesting. They put out this for Aidan Hutchinson. Look at this. This was, they put this out. Aidan Hutchinson finished the game, or he said, who finished with 8 pressures and a sack, is the only player this season with 3 games of 7+ pressures and at least 1 sack. Hutchinson averaged a 0.67 second get off time, 9th fastest in a game this season against the Bengals. We're talking off the as soon as the ball snapped.
0.67 is crazy. Think about your reaction time to have to be able to. Have you ever like when you play in 2K that you do the reaction thing where you have to like.
Yeah, no.
Guy Hutch has to be elite at those types of reaction games.
A 0.67 reaction. I mean, get off time. This is coming from the narrative of Aidan, where he wasn't the most athletic guy coming out. No, he's extremely athletic. He's a freak. He's actually a freak, an absolute freak athlete, and he's on pace to get close to 20 sacks, man. You know what I mean? He's been dominant. He has. So, defensive player of the year. He's going to get paid close to $50 million, if not $50 million. And I don't see his production slowing down any. I think the big thing for him, if you want to lock up that defensive player of the year, you got to go out here and perform in these big games. Like the Chiefs is what? So is that Sunday Night Football?
I believe so. I think going forward now over the next few weeks, let me just double check this. I think we have Sunday Night Football, and then week 7, I think it's Monday night versus the Bucs. So you have back-to-back primetime weeks before the bye week. So now I've always said this too. You know how I feel about primetime games. I think especially like when it comes to awards, I just said it about Jack Campbell, to where like in primetime, if Jack Campbell shows up and shows out, where that gets your name. Those are the games that get your names out there for those awards because everyone's watching and you have the biggest commentators on the game. The whole NFL world, like media and former players and people who vote for these awards, fans, everyone's watching you. I think with Hutch, if he has a big 2 weeks here, I think you could see that defensive player of the year odds go to like, as crazy as this sounds, this is going to sound nuts, Jeff, because it's so early in the season. I'm not calling it like you, but I think you could see the odds go to like -150, -200 if Hutch has a big 2 week stretch here. Like if he comes out of this next 2 weeks in each game, let's say he has a sack in every game and then he has some type of forced fumble, a strip sack, or he has something big in there like an interception or something huge. I think instantly those odds just boom, they move it drastically. I think this might be the last week you can get Hutch at a decent plus 300, which is not even that great anyways for an award.
Yeah, it might. It's gonna. I mean, if you think about a plus 300, you might want to just put the bets on right now. Gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
But you might want to just start placing them now before they continue to rise, especially with these big games. I agree with that. Before we move on, we're going to talk some TA. Terion Arnold, the much anticipated conversation. Lions fans were battling all over social media about it. Before we do that, El Guapo, appreciate the $2. Said Brad might have fucked up not paying Hutch early. I don't think it's Brad's fault. I think Brad wanted to pay him early. I think
Hutch said no.
I think Hutch and his agent are being a little more. I think Brad would love to pay him early.
I agree.
But
I do agree.
Hey,
I think Brad and them were trying to do everything in their power to get that thing done early.
It takes two to tango, man. You know, takes two to tango. El Guapo, appreciate the $2. Vision Cell, thanks for the 5. He says, do you think we trade for an edge, DB, or O-line before the deadline? That's a great question. Actually, let's answer that. It's a good topic question, actually. We'll answer that after I tell you about our friends over at Comer & Cross. All right, let me tell you about our friends over at Comer & Cross because, hold on a second. Oh, there we go. Comer & Cross. Allow me to do that.
Oh, no.
Hey, Booner, hold on.
Yeah.
1 second.
Do you want me I could do it 30 seconds on Comer & Cross. I don't have the ad read, but hey, call Comer & Cross.
No, we're good. We're back. Let me tell you about our friends over at Comer & Cross and their concrete floor coatings because they do it all. Garages, basements, patios. By the way, we're not getting fined for that. I'm just here so I won't get fined. Let me tell you about Comer & Cross. They're excellent. Call the number 248-834-3488. They'll transform your patio, your pool deck, your basement, even your driveway, and they'll move the stuff out for you. So all you got to do, call them. 248-834-3488, or you can book your free estimate at comercross.com. Tell them your friends over at Crunch Time Sports sent you, but don't tell them that you just saw the NFL game on a live stream. All right, let's get back to the show. All right, no fine coming. I think we're good.
I want it on record. I have Travis Etienne anytime touchdown, and they could have they had the ball at the 1 yard line here. They could have just easily just said, hand it off to our running back. He will get in the end zone. It's our running back. And they just go Trevor Lawrence back-to-back plays, and he comes up short once, and then he goes up and fumbles the ball in the second time. This is where I think, this is where OC sometimes, Jeff, get a little bit too cute. Just give it to your running back. Let your running back punch it in. It's so simple. You have 4 downs at the one. You have 3 downs at the 1 yard line.
They were getting cute.
Hand it off. You have 3 chances with a running back.
They were getting cute.
Unbelievable. Just unreal.
Offensive coaches, man, they do it sometimes.
It's unreal. They can be so good but so dumb at the same time.
Vision Stealth, do you think we trade for an edge, DB, or O-line before the deadline? Appreciate the 5, Vision Stealth. To answer your question, Boone, I'll say this. I don't think they trade for an edge. Can we eliminate that?
Yeah, I think Davenport's going to be back in the next. I think after the bye, Davenport comes back. I know people don't want to hear to trust that, but
I think for them to trade for a DB or an O-line, an offensive lineman, it would have to be either one, Taylor Decker or TA. Injury is way worse than they thought, and they're out for potentially the season. Then I think we can talk about trading. I don't think they're just going to bring in another DB with TA and DJ Reed healthy, like when they come back. You know, I don't see that. It depends. If TA's out for the year or DJ Reed or whatever, then I could see them making a move. But no, at this point, if I had to pick one, it'd probably be DB, but I don't think they trade for any of them unless there's a long-term injury. It took Hutch being out for the year to go get Za'Darius. I think that's how Brad operates personally.
I do think that there is a world to where if there is a player at a good price, I do think Brad would do it. Because even remember 2 years or that first deadline that everyone wanted someone, Chase Young was available, and Brad did, and you could say you needed it, but Brad did reach out. That I think the rumors came out after that Brad did say, or someone said within that circle that Brad did reach out for Chase Young. So that was something. I think he's going to attempt. Will he do it? That's a different story. But he's not going to go out there and give up, the house for one of these teams or for one of these players.
Yeah, that was a 6th-round pick for DPJ.
Yeah. And we really didn't even need a wide receiver at that point. It's value, right? It's about value, and it's also about, depth. So I do think that there's a chance they still go out and get an edge or an offensive lineman or DB.
Let's have the TA conversation. Dan Campbell spoke about TA's injury, timeline of that injury. Let's hear from Dan, and we'll react to it. But here's Dan Campbell on that.
He was, man, I just thought he was very competitive. I thought he was calm. I thought he was cool. And I thought this was one of the better games he's played in a while. I thought he was really good. And, we put a lot on him, and I thought he answered the bell. So, unfortunately, he's going to be out for a while. He's going to be out for a long time.
The rest of the season type?
I don't know that, but it'll be a while. It's going to be a while. He was, man, I just thought he was very competitive. I thought he was
all right.
calm.
Well,
I thought he was cool.
Here's the unfortunate part is he was already hurt going into the game with a shoulder injury, and he re-aggravated it.
Obviously, in a very, very bad way.
Yeah. So that's the unfortunate part. So TA is going to be out, like he just said, for a good amount of time. He didn't say he doesn't know if it's going to be season ending. He kind of leaned on the side that it wouldn't be season ending, which is good. But can we just focus on what Dan actually said before we get to the injury about how he thought he had one of his best games before he went down? And to be honest with you, I talked about this morning. TA in that game, 6 targets at TA, 3 catches, 28 yards, a 60 passer rating. He actually didn't play bad in coverage. What the problem is with TA is penalties, which were a problem last season. He ended up fixing that later in the year, and just consistency, which we talked about before the show, which you just want to see him be more consistent. Yep. So I think, is that something that you look at as, you write him off? No, but I would say that's the flaw with TA. It's just consistency, putting it together for a full game, and then the penalties, which pop up sometimes. But I don't even know. I don't think you can look. I think people get so frustrated because of the penalty. It was a terribly timed penalty that took away Hutch's safety. That doesn't take away from actually what he did in coverage, which wasn't bad. It wasn't. And based on the data, I mean, they got worse when he was out of the game. So it's, I know they didn't have DJ Reed either, but yeah, I don't think the game was as bad as people think it was, honestly.
No, I mean, and shout out to Easy too, because Easy had put out the clips, and he actually texted me separately and sent me it because we were texting a little bit about the whole Terion stuff. And when he sent me those, I watched it, and then he puts all the stats in there. I'm right there with you, Jet. Like, I don't know. And I see this is the whole thing on Twitter. It's like it feels like it's like you have to be on one or two sides. That's why I hate kind of the internet in some aspects, because it's like, hey, you pick a side. Either you think TA's been bad or you think he's good. Because then if you start to defend him a little bit like this, or like Easy put out there and some people in the media put out there, then it's like, oh, like no one can criticize him. Like, no, like it's a give and a take, and two things can be true. Like, he's struggled with penalties and he's been grabby, and those situations have happened. But at the same time, it's one, at the end of the day, dude, like TA has the talent all the talent in the world. And majority of the time, I would say this, Jeff, and then maybe you're going to agree with or disagree. 80% of the time, the talent shows, and he's good. He's sticky. He's good in coverage. He can make plays. He's great in the run game. But there's then that 10% of the side to where it's just, hey, you do have those penalties that do hurt your football team. And obviously, like TA said it after the game yesterday, he was like, I don't feel like I'm grabbing the way, like, they're calling it tighter, it feels like. I don't know if he said it specifically, but the kind of a little essence of it, it's like, hey, he feels like that some of these aren't penalties, but he's getting called for them. So I see like his frustration a little bit to where he is having these moments throughout the game where he is very good and he is a good corner. But then, you have these couple, one or two in a game slip ups to where even you feel like it's not a slip up, and the ref's calling it, and you're like, what are we doing here? Like, it's so, and then obviously when you do see a flag now, one flag for TA is like 6 flags for like Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know what I'm saying? Because Amon-Ra has built that with the fan base and has built that with the team and that trust, to where if Amon-Ra could get 5 holding calls and run plays, and people still probably want to go at him. Where TA now is at a point to where he can get 1 defensive pass interference or defensive holding, and boom, it's the end of the world. It's bench him. And I think that's where some people do need to kind of take a step back a little bit. And that's what being a fan is, right? I don't blame the fans. I think there are people in the media who might overreact a little too much to penalties and to things without actually watching the film. And I do believe a lot of these people just don't turn on the tape. They've never watched the all 22 and they never go watch it and actually see TA in action. That's why I respect, like, when Easy sends me those clips, TA looks good. Like, he doesn't look like he's the worst corner in the league. He looks good. It's just leading the league or close to leading the league in PIs and penalties. That's the only part. Like, I think people need to put a nuance in, like, hey, this is actually the problem. It's not that he can't play. It's the penalties. That's where I think the disconnect comes. Because I think TA, I think it's going to hurt that we don't have him. It really is. It's going to hurt because now you have to roll out there with Rock Yassin. And I'm not saying Rock Yassin's bad, but like I think Amik's going to be able to hold his own, as we know. But now you have to roll in there with Trey Flowers and some of these guys who just, they're not as good as TA. And all these people complained in the last 2 weeks, oh, bench TA, bench TA, bench TA. Now you got players that are worse than him. Like, you're going to see, like, TA was actually a really good corner. He just had bad moments.
Yeah, I think the best thing for him, and and this goes with like either the penalties or the inconsistencies with TA sometimes, even though he has the talent, is I think when he gets back, him and Amik need to compete. Like I think Amik should be competing with him to play outside corner. Like, we'll see over the next couple of games how good Amik looks, and if Amik's playing really well. When TA gets back, dude, those guys should be competing for CB2 when DJ Reed gets back. Like, have them both compete, man. Best man wins. Like, that's where I'm at with it. And if TA, I think it's good to have competition for young players. I think it's really beneficial. I don't think no one's spot should be guaranteed. Obviously, Dan Campbell, they believe in competition. But, like, yeah, if Amik's, playing well. And by the way, Amik's very familiar with the Chiefs, by the way. I brought this up today. He played in that division for a long time. I mean, a couple of years. Yep. So he's very familiar with those Chiefs wide receivers. Obviously, they have new wide receivers, but the first tape I ever watched of Amik when he got to Detroit was his film against Rashee Rice, and he put the clamps on him, like at outside corner. So I want to see. Listen, I want to see Amik over the next couple of weeks for sure. But when TA gets back, I think it's good, man. Have those guys compete. Like, I've
always said that, and especially defensively, get guys in there to compete because that makes them better. And even if you're rotating guys and you just have one extra guy now, you have DJ Reed, Amik, and TA that could play outside. I think at that point that's a good corner room at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Lions are going to play. I mean, the Chiefs just went up 2 scores on the Jags.
Yeah, Jags got to do something here.
I told you. I looked at the money line today, dude. There's no way they were losing this game, man. Like, they were like slightly favorites. I mean, that's just disrespectful. The Jags are going to find a way to blow this somehow. It should be 7-7. I mean, they just blew that.
It should be, yeah. That fumble. If you just hand the ball to your running back, you're good to go.
Xavier Worthy's dead, so that's great.
Is he?
Tyquan Thornton, by the way, man.
He's good, dude.
No, I give credit to Caleb on that, dude. And Caleb was just glazing this guy. He's a big play every game for the Chiefs. I mean, the Lions got to look at Tyquan Thornton this week, dude. Like, this guy's just a big playmaker. I mean,
the play that he had today, it was literally Patrick Mahomes was about to get hit, and he just closed his eyes and threw the ball 50 yards down the field, and Thornton's just like sitting there.
Dude,
like, I don't know. How is he just there?
This guy averages 20 yards a catch. I mean, he's their Jameson Williams. He's really good. I mean, he hasn't really done much before the Chiefs, but that's what Chiefs. Everyone turns into good players. It's like Tom Brady. Guys used to go to the Patriots and be good, and you didn't know who they were.
Something just happened, by the way.
What?
The Pistons are playing. The Pistons just tweeted out in all caps, Cade Cunningham, are you serious? And then the very first comment underneath, someone, our guy Tom Herr, said that was Jordan-esque. What did Cade just do? What did Cade Cunningham just do on his first night back? I need to know.
He's got some Jordan in him. That's what
I need to know.
Yeah, they don't have Jalen Duren playing tonight, but Cade has 20 points at half. He might average 30 this year.
Yeah, I hope he's in the MVP conversation, man. People don't want to see
Jaden Ivey's not playing too well. He's coming back from injury, but
by the way, too, this is early look ahead, and we need to start getting graphics and stuff made for it, Jeff, so we can push it. We are going to do like a meetup opening night for the Pistons, just so people know. If you're like, we are going to do something opening night for the Pistons, and then also for the Wings, we're going to do something, but it will not be opening night. It will be, I think opening night's Thursday night for the Wings, correct, Jeff? I think it's a Thursday.
Yeah,
we have the show Friday or Saturday. There's a Wings home game. We're going to do something for the Wings that Saturday game as well, just so we can, every fan base involved will do something, meetups, different things for all the teams. We talked about it. We're locked in. I'm pumped up for both of those, man.
Yeah, Pistons Wings are starting, man. It's that time. Now we got the Pistons. I mean, it's preseason, but I like it because Pistons preseason. But NBA preseason, the guys actually play, except for the vets. But I like NBA preseason. They're actually out there. There you go. All right. Let me. I guess what we should be discussing before because we have our top 10 Tuesday tomorrow. Can we just say that there's no more undefeated teams in the NFL?
Nope. And there's only one team that hasn't won yet.
I feel bad for Aaron Glenn, dude. I mean, that guy's.
I don't. He picked that team.
Yeah. No, I guess that's.
I think it's funny. I think it's actually really funny that Lions fans, and you might get a little hate for this, that Lions fans are so mad at Ben, which I understand in division, but they're mad at Ben for picking the Bears when it's like, hey, like these guys have lives and careers and families. They don't want to go to just bad teams. And everyone's like, oh, I'm so happy for Aaron Glenn. Like I think AG could have taken like 2 other jobs that were open this offseason besides the Jets. And he was like, I want to go to the Jets because I played there. I bet you AG could have got the Jags job and they have a better roster. Like that has nothing to do with the roster. You just never will win in New York. Never. He easily could have just been like,
do you see Robert Saleh's brother tweet out?
Yeah.
And
he's not wrong, dude.
Yeah, Saleh had him 3-2 or something like that, 2-3. I forgot what the record he tweeted. But yeah,
he's not wrong.
And I mean, it's just I've said it, man. It's something I believe. I look at coaches. You got to make sure your side of the ball is taken care of. If you stink, at least make sure your side of the ball is taken care of.
Yep.
Their defense stinks. Here's the difference, though, Getaway.
So bad.
No, as much as I want to agree, there's so much context in this, it's not even funny. And I get what you're saying in theory, but let's really compare. Go look at Dan's roster when they were 0-9, and go look at this Jets roster and tell me what you see. I'll wait.
This Jets roster is not that bad.
You tell me what the difference is. They have all pro players on defense. They have Sauce Gardner, Quincy Williams. They have Jermaine Johnson, who's pretty good. I'm not a Jets fan, but they have.
Dude, it was one of the best defenses in the NFL a year or two ago.
Yeah, they have good players.
They got more players. It's not like they lost guys. They've added to it, and they're one of the worst now. It's so different than Dan and what Dan literally, they took over this team. They had, and I think someone in the media actually said at one time, like they had like a UFL roster. They had like the Jets have a legit roster.
Yeah, and their offense, like they have Breece Hall, they have Garrett Wilson. I mean, the Lions didn't have any of those guys when Dan got here. They had Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift. Breece Hall's a better back than both of them combined.
Yep.
And their O-line's not terrible. Justin Fields is actually not playing. He's not good, but he's getting garbage time stats. I never thought, but they paid him. I mean, that's who you went and got. It's
and at the end of the day, AG wanted Justin Fields. He chose Justin Fields. So you can't be like, well, you didn't have your quarterback. He had options. He had Russell Wilson he could have got. I know that these aren't the best options. Aaron Rodgers said he would come back. In Aaron Rodgers, remember the whole saga of AG coming in and being like, kind of being a little bit of a dick to him and being like, yeah, fly out here just for me to cut you and say we're moving on. And he was like, remember Aaron Rodgers came out and was like, the meeting that they had, Aaron Rodgers was like, it was one of the most disrespectful meetings I've ever had. And he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And he was like, well, I don't know why that we even had that meeting. He was disrespectful to one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. And he let him go. And now look what Aaron Rodgers is doing in Pittsburgh. Like Pittsburgh's going to probably make the playoffs. So it's just like,
I honestly, I love AG as a human. He's a great human being. He might not work out as a head coach. I might have been completely wrong on that. I really believed.
It's weird, man. Again,
a lot of being a head coach is getting your staff right. I don't even know if he has the right staff. I mean, those guys, dude, don't even know. I don't even know what the hell's going on over there. I don't. And one of those guys he brought in was Tanner Engstrand.
Yeah, and he has not been a good OC.
And Steve Wilkes. That defense
has not been a good OC.
The 49ers fired Steve Wilkes.
Yeah.
And they have because they weren't doing well, Steve Wilkes in that defense.
Well, that's why, like, I think Ben Johnson's put together a very good staff because, he's play calling, one of the best in the league. But then he goes and gets Dennis Allen, who, yes, you could say fired. He was the head coach, though. Him as a DC is always one of the best in the NFL. And he went out and got a former head coach to be his DC, who is one of the best defensive minds in the NFL. So, yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, the only winless team. But the Lions, can we say the Lions deserve that top spot? Bills lost to you see the Bills game? Bills, hey, listen, I get it's a divisional game. Drake May, he's the truth. Drake May's
good.
The truth. No, and they beat the Bills. Bills are now have a loss. So the Lions are, even though we could talk about the Packers game, at least they lost to a contender, according to national media. The Patriots are not a contender. Okay? They're not. So technically, who has the better loss? I'm just saying. All right,
I have
loss for loss.
When we do our power rankings tomorrow, I think you guys can guess what mine looks like.
I think the Lions are. You can, and the Rams just lost too, man. Like I'm telling you, as the season goes on, I think what was the Scott? What was the? Hold on, what was the quote that Scott Van Pelt just used on the pregame on this? He said, what did he say? The Chiefs. He goes, the Chiefs are. He's like, they're always it's like the adult pool. It's like when the adults get in, all the kids get out. He's like, the Chiefs stay in it. They're the adults.
That's what I said when I had them in my top 10 and everyone took them out of their top 10. It was just like, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. We're talking about Spags. We're talking about Reed. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes. I don't know why I struggled to remember all these names. That was unbelievable. But all of these guys, like, they're always in it, dude. They'll never not be in it. Remember I said, just wait till Xavier Worthy gets back. Rashee Rice is coming back. Dude, they're going to win the AFC. They will win the AFC. If I had a bet right now,
thing, man, and I will say, I guess what's your kind of early thoughts on this matchup this week? I know the Chiefs are playing; they look really fucking good.
They do. I think this is a good matchup. I think it's Super Bowl matchup.
This is going to be a really good game. I wonder. I know it's in Arrowhead, so I think the Chiefs could be like slight favorites. Like it could be like a 1.5, something like that.
Yeah, they probably. You could probably look right now. Hold on, give me 2 minutes.
It feels like a 1.5, like Chiefs 1.5 or something. Like it's going to be like basically a pick 'em, I think, in my opinion. Maybe they'll give the Lions a nod. They looked better, but Chiefs blew out the Ravens. It looks like they're on track to take care of. Oh, it says KC -2. I was close. Damn, I was close.
Oh yeah, I didn't see. I couldn't find it in time. There we go, -2. Yeah,
that's
it's one of those games. If they drop it, it's like the Baltimore game. Obviously, looking back, Baltimore kind of is trash now. But it's like that feeling going into that game to where, hey, if they drop that game, you're not super mad, but it's just as long as they're competitive and they're in there, putting up a fight and they look like they can contend to where if there is a Super Bowl, you don't want to look like that Ravens game 2 years ago. You need to go in there and put a fight up.
No, and here's the thing, Nick P. This is a great point because this I was gonna save this because this one thing I noticed about the Chiefs, man. Like the Chiefs, they take pride in their secondary. Teams have been kind of moving the ball on them a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like that's where the Lions have an advantage here. This Chiefs defense, their front seven's good. Secondary's been a little shaky. And I know today they're doing well. They can get takeaways. They play fast. Like they got a good defense, but man, all the weapons the Lions have, it's like you got to be ready for this. This is different. This ain't this offense for the Jags, man. Trevor Lawrence,
Travis Etienne, he just had like a 10-yard run going into this game. Offensively, like I do think, especially if we always talk about it. If you want to beat a team like this, you control time of possession. They got to run the ball. Like Jahmyr Gibbs and D-Mac got to be good Sunday.
That's actually a great point.
And on the road, you want to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, Andy Reid on the side. You want to keep them on the sideline, not having to put the ball in their hands. If you can run the ball on Sunday, which you're seeing it a little here too, not just with Travis Etienne, but also with Trevor Lawrence. I know you don't have Goff who's mobile, but if you can find different ways to run the ball here and eat up this time, like right now, the current drive for the Jags, Jeff, 11 plays, 7 or 8 minutes. That's a great drive for them. And you're leaving Patrick Mahomes on the sideline. And I know they're down 14-0, but it essentially should be 7-7 right now if Trevor Lawrence doesn't fumble it. It's 7-7, and they're going down. So it's tough to win an Arrowhead too. Yeah, I know we did it 2 years ago, opening day, but you do got to think there was no Chris Jones, no Travis Kelce in that moment. It's tough to win on the road with a legit Chiefs team. So it's going to be a challenge for sure.
Yeah, the only thing the Lions have going against them is just the DBs, because the Chiefs have a bunch of different weapons that can beat you. They don't have like a true number one, but they have some guys that are capable at any given night. So that's going to be a tough. That's just really the match.
This Washington guy just scored. Parker Washington just scored. Parker Washington just scored.
Did he really?
Yeah, I put plus 500. I put a unit on it, plus 500. I hit it. Shout out Klotz and Caleb. Shout out the boys. You literally remember me and you were like, he hasn't had a touchdown all year. He had 0 catches last week. And all of a sudden he just scores here. That's unbelievable. What a call from the two boys, man. Shout out Klotz and Caleb. What a
Klotz,
call.
you sick son of a bitch, man.
That's unbelievable.
This guy didn't score all year and scores against the Chiefs, bro.
What a
Klotz.
hit, dude. Plus 500. That's I feel so good hitting that. You should have taken it.
I should have taken it. But I mean,
now
I
if
say
Noah
that,
Gray
but
scores.
I say that, but then I look back and I'm like, should I have taken it? Like, we see the result, but it's like,
you should have. I mean, it's always when like there are these random names that get thrown out there. It's just like in my mind, it's like it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. It's plus 500.
I will say with Klotz, he's good at finding these random ass names that can score. I mean, he the Cleef one, he missed the first time, but he hit it the second time. He just got Parker Washington. Maybe I need to start. If Klotz says a name, I got to start.
When Klotz does, I have after the Cleef one, I put it on. I'll do it.
You son of a gun, dude. Hey, by the way, look at this before. I want to show you this too. This is from the TA conversation earlier. Al Carson put this out, which is kind of crazy. This is with Terion and without Terion. Defensive statistics. So with Terion, this is against the Bengals.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
There's too many points on this with points allowed. They only scored 24 points. Does that make you think maybe I'm just
maybe he meant 21 without Terion?
I don't know.
I
noticed on Twitter, I thought all the stats were interesting, but I was like, wait a second. Does that affect other stats in this then? Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Well, you could see the discrepancy. You could see the difference. Between him playing and not playing. I mean, yards per pass attempt, 3.9 with Terion, 13.3 without. I mean, it does. Okay, so can I give some more context to this though? And this isn't. Listen, I'm on Team Terion in terms of like people saying that he's a complete bust already. But can we at least keep it a stack right here? Like, there are times in a game where late teams get garbage yards. Like Justin Fields does this with the Jets, and they still lose. So I think it is a little unfair, and this is coming from someone who's been defending Terion to kind of do this, because based on this metric, Terion Arnold is one of the most impactful defensive players in football, which just isn't true. Like, I mean, it's like, so as much as I appreciate Al for putting it out, it's nice. It gives context. We got to watch with this type of stuff, man. Because, like, based on this data, this guy's like prime Darrelle Revis. You know what I'm saying? So I get what he was trying to do by putting it on Twitter, but I don't know about that one. Because you know how it is.
I think there is
fourth quarter teams get garbage yards. Like
I think there is
do it
partially garbage yards, yes, but I also do think like there is something to, again, where Terion isn't as bad as people do think, to where he does actually, like, again, you said you watched it back, like I watched it back. He actually impacts the game, and defensively, even in coverage. Like people are like, he's so bad in coverage. Like, no, he's not. He really isn't. When you do actually go watch it, he's good in coverage, and you can find the clips of where he's actually pretty decent in coverage, and he takes things away. And you know what I'm saying? And when you have to put a guy like Rocky Scene in there, you have to put a Trey Flowers in there, other things open up. So it does make a little bit of a difference. I don't know if it's as drastic as it looks on the graphic, but I think drastic. Al's point in general, I think he's spot on with Al's point, to where there is a drop off because, TA isn't as bad as guys like Lukas Klotz put it, where Lukas Klotz just overreacts to Lukas is an overreactor. I'm starting to learn in the game of football. He's a ball knower. He's also an overreactor, so I'm starting to learn that a little bit, to where it's like, hey, all right, like Lukas, like he gets beat one play, like, bench the guy forever, cut him. Like, okay, come on, take a step back.
Except if a team scores on the first drive. Then you guys, no one cares.
Yeah, but again, we have a sample size, a full game of where, like, you can see with TA. And outside of the penalties, TA is actually not bad. Klotz just hasn't gone back and watched the All-22, in my opinion.
Klotz says he's not a bust yet, but till this point, he's done nothing to live up to his stock.
I think he's like, Klotz would be like, he's bad in coverage. Wrong. Like, you're wrong. Like,
he hasn't lived up to a first round pick.
I think, like, take the penalties away. He's been good. It's literally just the penalties that people complain about. That's it.
And just being inconsistent. That's really it, man. Like the Ravens game it's actually the perfect example. The second half of the Ravens game, he was good. First half, he was bad. It's like you just need him to put it together for a game. And if you want
Steve Wild says, "Come on, bro, watch the tape. He's not been good." If you've watched the tape, you've seen, and like, he hasn't been bad in coverage. I feel like a lot of people are saying all this stuff, just legit have not turned the tape on. Go to Easy's Twitter and watch what Easy put out.
Here, I have it right here.
I think Jeremy Reisman put out there on Twitter as well, or someone else did. Either him or Justin Rogers put out the whole every single coverage snap for TA. Not bad. He's not like, we're acting like he's like the worst corner in the NFL. People are saying to bench him, to trade him.
My God,
it hasn't been as bad as people think.
Destroyed that man. Okay,
yeah, he did.
Carry it to the top.
I think there's a Justin Jefferson too, or Higgins.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a bad play. Bench him. What are we talking about? Bench him, huh?
That's just great coverage.
He's the worst in the NFL.
So let's see this play. So bottom of the screen, picked up zone. That's good coverage.
Okay, good. He's the worst in the NFL. Oh, almost gets an interception. Bench him. Yes, they are bad. Both can, again, like I said earlier in the show, both can be true. The penalties are bad, but also he's good in coverage, and he's actually decent in what he does. He's not the worst like people try and say needs to be benched or
it's not. No, he says it's 40. It's not every snap. It's the snaps that he was targeted in coverage.
Yes,
if that makes sense. So he was.
Yeah, that's just his targeted. Go look at his not targeted ones. I'm sure the reason he doesn't get targeted is because in those non-targeted ones, he's locking up as well.
Yeah, that's the context. He was targeted 6 times. Targeted at those are all 6 snaps. So yeah, that I would just say that's the. By the way, Xavier Worthy just lost 6 yards. This guy fucking stinks.
Are you sure there was a pass? I think it was a run. I thought it was a run.
Was it? Dude, Xavier Worthy stinks. Maybe I'm Klotz. This guy just stinks. Now I'm just rolling with that. That's ridiculous. Was it a run?
I don't know.
It says it was a reception on here.
Really? And I thought it was like, oh, you know what it was? I think it was like in the motion, and the ones where they just toss it forward and they count those as That's why I didn't go all in, Jeff. You should have taken mine.
Oh, it counted as a catch.
Right now, I have Patrick Mahomes 200. He has 164. Isaiah Pacheco, good. Hollywood Brown need 2 more yards. Kelsey need 13. And then I'm halfway with Lawrence and Etienne right now. That's it.
Yeah, I need 30 yards for Worthy. That's it. You can get that in like a catch though. I guess. Like he's pretty.
Oh, you need 4. What do you have? 40 or 30?
30.
I have 40 in a different one. Yeah, he could get that in the catch.
No, it's all right, Diggity Dog. It's not on you. You know what, Xavier? And by the way, the reason why I don't know if you guys ever do this, I have him in fantasy, so I'm double. I was that confident.
Oh, no.
I'm like, he's gonna ball out for me in fantasy. I actually need. Who am I facing this week? I think I'm facing Adam from Honolulu Blues. Shout out to him. I am. Yeah, I'm facing Adam from Honolulu Blues, and I'm about to beat him too.
I'm about to beat Adam Baydoun. I'm up 137 to 113. Yeah, I have a 99% chance to win.
Dude, you're about to be 4-1.
Yeah, and then in my other league, I just needed Travis Kelce and Brian Thomas to outscore Strange and Little by 10. And right now, I'm 4-0 in that league. I have a 73% chance of winning. I'm sitting at 4-0, so I'm about to be 5-0.
Let's see, Nick P. Honestly, Arnold was more so a raw prospect coming out of college with CB2 for Bama behind Kool-Aid until he suffered an injury and Arnold exploded. Yeah, he was a prior safety. I don't know about project, but I mean, you're not saying that. But he's not that bad, but raw prospect's probably the right way to say it. He's a raw prospect, more raw. Played corner, but he was a safety prior, so there is truth to that. Streams only. TA is the most ass play. He's the most ass.
We lose people who don't actually know what they're talking
getting
about.
Defended. By the way, no, there's more ass player. I mean, you're talking Jeff Okudah. You're talking Eric Ebron. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he was defended by fans, but there's some ass players, man.
There is.
I mean, I don't think TA's ass. I mean, that's aggressive. That's aggressive. It sucks he's out for a long time because you're not going to be able to see him build on what he's been doing. So it's like now you're just basically have film of 5 games, and it hasn't been amazing. But I thought he's shown a little more at times this year than he did last year. So it's like, I don't know. And there's the problem. Like Cardi says, Quinyon, it's balling. When you're a rookie corner in the NFL, it's either going to go 2 ways. You're either going to be elite right off the rip, or you're going to take about 2 years to get to where you're supposed to be. Terion's obviously not in the first one. All right. He's in the second one. I'm not willing to go and use the word bust, like he's just a bust, until I see next year. Because his first 2 years, like Darius Slay was a 2nd-round pick, Terion Arnold was a late first, and Darius Slay was benched in his 2nd year and still turned into an All-Pro. So that's why I got to give him 1 more year, and then I'm out. I
do think like it is. I will say, like for Lions fans, it probably is frustrating. I see like the frustration of seeing other 1st-round corners and even corners maybe not in the 1st round that might have played better than Terion. But I'm right there with you, and I think a lot of people are too. To where it's like, not a lot of people. If you're more so just grounded a little bit with this, and you're more realistic, you do look a little bit at the TA thing, and you go, okay, if you get into year 3, a 1st-round draft pick, and it's not panning out, all right, now there's an issue. I'm right there with you. I'm not as worried here in year 2 about it. Yeah, you need him to step up. That's why why did they go get DJ Reed this year?
Yeah, they wanted to see. They don't believe he's CB1 yet.
Yeah, and they believe that. I'm sure they believe he could be CB1 at some point, but they knew, hey, we do need to have a guy in there. Why would I'm sure they tried to re-sign Carlton Davis. Why? Same thing with DJ Reed. Like you still feel like he has steps to take. You're not going to lean on a guy like that right away. And some guys it takes longer than others. Look at Jack Campbell. Remember year 1 to year 2 to now to year 3. It takes time for some of these guys, and some it doesn't take time. Hutch right away was great. Some guys, it's just different. It's frustrating, 100%. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and Quinyon Mitchell's not having a great start to the year either. He's not. And
what are grades compared? Can we compare grades? I wish they had a comparison.
He's the 49th highest graded corner in PFF.
Okay.
He's a little worse than he was last year. Now, if we're talking, I mean, I see people talking about Kamari Lassiter. I mean, trust me, I love Kamari Lassiter. I don't think, but he was I think was a second round pick, a third round pick. I think he was like a second round pick. But again, we could play the revisionist history all day, man. Like there's corners I wanted, corners everyone else wanted. All right, it is what it is. So Lassiter, Quinyon Mitchell, Kool-Aid, McKinstry. Yeah, we could talk all day about it. TA. We can't fully. I got to go year 3. Year 3 is when I judge a corner. It's like, what are you by year 3? Like Jack Campbell, I guess it's fair because it's kind of like linebacker. It takes a couple years. Like Jack's hitting now all pro level, dude. Like he's at now. You gotta wait and see with him a little bit.
Some of the toughest positions in football. One, a linebacker, especially if you're a first round draft pick, the expectation's so high. That's a tough position to get. Everyone's, Dan's talked about that for years with Jack, and so did AG, and so does Shep. Where with Jack, it's going to take a little time for him to really get to that spot. That's why you had Anzo. What's one of the hardest positions in football to play? Corner. Especially in the National Football League, where you're going up against every single week some of the best wide receivers in the NFL. So it is going to take time. You don't want to sit there and compare, in my opinion, TA to Quinyon or these other players, because every player is going to have a different timeline. I think the Darius Slay thing that you keep bringing up is such a perfect point to where you do see like there's timelines. It doesn't mean the guy can't play. It doesn't have talent. It's just about figuring out the NFL game because it's such a hard position. And I'm not there. I'll say this: there's a chance he doesn't work out.
Yeah,
there's still that side.
Very well. I'm not saying the guy's going to be an all pro. I'm just saying I think people have been a little too hard on him. I do. Tom, you're right. That's the saying, man. I like PFF when it fits my narrative. That's what I've always said. And when it fits my narrative, I love PFF.
Love
it. Doesn't,
yeah.
I don't want to hear it. I don't care about it. They just threw Jimmy Kimmel on the screen. I was
Did
so
you see
confused.
that?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Me too. I saw that pop up, and then his what is his guy that he's always with?
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot his name. That is funny. All right, we got about 13 minutes left until mailbag. What'd you think of the Tigers? Tough, huh?
That was brutal yesterday. I text the boys. If you lose a school start in a series,
it's
hard to win the series, especially with the way your offense is, and you're going up against a pretty good offense with the Seattle Mariners. If you lose a school start, you're in a tough spot. That's just my thought process. Now, obviously, you come home, and if you can somehow win one of two, and then in Game 5, going back to Seattle, you get Derek Skubal on the mound again in Game 5 in a closing game, which you probably would think you're favored in that game. But you have to win one of two without Skubal. Like Jack Flaherty's on the mound tomorrow. You have to, hopefully you can get that one. I would think at home with the crowd, I know it's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy actually. With the home crowd, you would hope that gives you a little bit momentum and some juice, especially offensively. Don't you think?
No, it should. I'm just shocked. Polanco, 2 home runs on Schools.
Yeah, and the second one, I didn't see the first one. I was driving home from the game.
Nuke.
From your house, from the Lions game. But the second one, I'm sitting there. I had some Qdoba. I'm sitting there eating it, just enjoying it. And when he hit that, instantly, I was like,
that's
oh,
the shit.
no.
Like, dude, it's like, School. It's just like, that was the kryptonite of the night, dude. Like, that was Polanco hitting 2 homers.
And this is the thing, too. Like, Phil brings up a good point. Like, did you expect to take 2 away or 2 games from, on the road, essentially? I didn't expect it. I thought they were going to lose Game 1. But in my mind, if Skubal's on the mound in the playoffs, you win that game. So if you go up 1-0 without Skubal, or, and Skubal's not in Game 1, and you're up 1-0 going into Game 2 with Skubal, my expectations change. Like, do you expect to win 2 away? Yes. If Skubal's on the mound for Game 2 and you already won a game, 100% I expect to go win 2 on the road. If you would tell me that you would win a non-Skubal game on the road. 100%.
You know what, dude? The problem is this Mariners pitching staff is good, and you need the bats to step up. I mean, you had Kerry Carpenter; he was 0 for 3. McKinstry 0 for 3. I mean,
that's why I think when you do get home, I think in the playoffs, I think there's juice. I think offensively, you get some juice from the crowd. I really do. I think this offense will get going tomorrow or Wednesday.
I mean, it's just. Yeah, I mean, you got to get the bats going. I mean, that's the problem here, man. It's like they need some juice. Like the Mariners obviously had it with a Scooble start, but it's a little scary here. Like Corey even brought up, like we haven't played great at home.
But playoffs is different. Playoff baseball is October baseball. You're going to have a good crowd. It'll change.
I couldn't believe. I had to double check what the Blue Jays did
versus the Yankees is crazy. The Yankees just might be
13
frauds.
13 runs, bro.
Yeah,
it's fucking wild. 7-13. I'm talking about a football score. I mean, this is crazy, an NFL score.
Yankees,
but yeah, no,
frauds.
I think Tigers fans. I mean, you should still feel good. I mean, you got one. Okay, you got one. You stole one. It is a little scary. They lost the Scooble start. Given he actually did play well, the 2 home runs just absolutely bit them in the ass. But it really comes down to what this team does offensively. That's going to be their fate. Is like who steps up. Who. I mean, Riley Green, obviously someone you look at, but they need the bats to step up. If you're going to have a chance, it's going to come down to what they do offensively. It just is, and that's probably the biggest thing to watch out for in Game 3. Is like, what the fuck? I mean, you're not going to win a game with 2 runs.
And then we go down 2-0, and then they get 2, and then all of a sudden, right away, boom, you give up another run, and then you allow it. Just offensively, you need more than 2. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing too. Shout out Hodge, but like the thing is, like Carey's the one that really pushed you. You know, he's the one that had the home run in Game 1 that really helped win you the game. So it's like you need guys to step up. You need other guys. Like you need a Riley Green bomb. You need Spencer Torkelson to step up. You know, Javi's had such a good playoffs. You need some of these other guys to step up and make some plays, man. You do.
Like Riley Green hasn't had a home run in this postseason. Can it come in Game 3?
So funny, Caleb. Before we left the watch party, Caleb told me Riley Green today, so I put it on, and it's so funny. I got a text, Jeff, right before his second at bat. You could tell. I could get a feeling when you know Caleb was trying to do some like sorcerer stuff. You know what I mean? Like some like witchcraft things. He texted me right before Riley Green goes at bat, and he texts me Riley Green, period, right here, period, right now. Like he was like, he knew what he was doing. He was trying to make something happen. He wanted to make something happen there. I know gambling. He wanted so bad to text me after and be like, I told you.
He didn't realize you fucked up.
And he did nothing. I think he struck out actually, like right after he sent that text.
He did. Out. I mean, he had a run, but he didn't. He's been. I mean, he had 4 at bats, no hits. I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough, man. We'll see. They play when? Wednesday? Tomorrow or Wednesday?
They play tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Do you want to listen? Do you want to go to the game?
What time is it at?
I don't know. Should I call in sick to work tomorrow?
Dude, how much are those tickets?
I don't know.
The day prior to the game. How much are those fucking things?
It says tickets as low as $45. It's at 4:00.
Where are we? I mean, what the hell? Standing room? What the hell? What's $45? Is it really?
I mean, we can get for $100. We can get for $70. We can get in the right field.
What?
Do you want to go? Should I just call off tomorrow? I'm sick.
Actually, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Let me see. Oh, that's back of the. Let me see. $70. Oh, it's all top. Dude, you're like top of the stadium.
Yeah, but we're in there. We're there.
I love that. But we're in there. Yeah, to sit lower is 150. I mean, I guess you would be back at a damn. I mean,
I've never fake sick or called off before. That makes me nervous. I don't even know how to go about that.
You'd be like, "What's your reason?" To go up in a big series.
I got nothing, dude.
Game 3.
I don't even know how to do it. What do I even do?
I mean, I don't know. That's ALDS Game 3. That's what my reason is.
I'll panic too because I'll want to lie, and I'm not a good liar.
Yeah, that's they play at 4 tomorrow, so they
we do it. Should we go?
There'd be no show then.
No, there'd be a show. We would just get back like right before the show. The game would go till 7, and we're going back. It's not a bad idea, dude. Tigers baseball.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. You know what? We'll talk about it. It would be nuts to go. I mean, that would be nuts to go to the game. It would be nuts.
I don't know if my boss was watching the show today. I work with Hanch here in the chats, and he said he's off tomorrow.
He's off tomorrow, Hanch? Wait, Hanch is off tomorrow?
Hanch can help me. Hanch could probably help me get off tomorrow.
I'll say that I was with you.
Hanch will help get me off tomorrow. We'll figure this out.
Hey, leave your mailbag questions before we get to mailbag. I have to tell you about our friends over at Sleeper and the new deal they have going on because, by the way, this is special what they got going on. Let me just move this. Let me get this out the way.
What is this? This is new.
You fixed this. Let me tell you.
Whoa.
All right. Yeah, Sleeper. I mean, listen, they got the free $20 entry, and you guys already know what Sleeper is. It's one of the fastest growing fantasy platforms in the entire world. They're a proud sponsor of the show. I already give out my Sleeper picks every single week for the upcoming Lions game. If it's not available in your state, don't worry. It's going to be. There's millions and millions of active users on Sleeper, and it's only continuing to grow. And now they have a new offer for you. And let me tell you about it. Free $20, no deposit required. First-time users will also receive 100% deposit matched up to $100. Check it out. Go to Sleeper, whether it's Sleeper Fantasy, Sleeper Picks, whatever it is, and use the code CT Sports. Get a $100 deposit or $100 match up to $100. That's how it works. Sleeper takes care of the people, gamble responsibly, and shout out to them for always sponsoring the program. Let's get to mailbag. All right. And leave your questions, concerns, thoughts, whatever it is in the comments, and we will get to them. Who starts with the ball? The second half just started. Oh, the Chiefs.
Yep. They just kicked off.
Xavier Worthy. Get it together, man.
What if they got like a 40-yard Xavier Worthy bomb? I do need like 15 from – I need like 20 from Travis Kelce.
All I need is 2 catches from Strange and 30 yards.
That's it?
Yeah. Which sounds relative. By the way, we missed our parlay yesterday.
Which one?
The big one you said.
What game?
Was that one I made?
Which game?
Bills.
Oh, I sent that. It was like an 8-leg. Yeah. What did we miss by?
It was James Cook and like Travion Henderson. Travion Henderson should have hit his.
Yeah, dude, he was like 4 yards off, but
and they never gave him the rock again.
They were giving it to guy, and in the second half, and Antonio Gibson got hurt, and they still weren't giving it to him. It was weird. It's just very weird. Yeah, and my parlay for tonight, and we can start getting. Oh, we got a couple mailbags coming in real quick. My parlay tonight, Jeff. I need just 30 yards from Patrick Mahomes, 2 yards from Hollywood Brown, 5 from Travis Kelce, and then I just need Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence, which I'm sure they'll hit because they're going to be on offense a few times here. Kind of sitting in a nice spot.
I need this to be close so that way Xavier Worthy doesn't get taken out the game.
I'm really just going through my head on how I can get off work tomorrow.
Freddie Kelce's mailbag. I have Palace, Joe Lewis, and Silverdome seats for sale. I'll be home for Monday Night Football game. Any takers? I'm asking $800 for all 3.
Wait a second. Wait, what? How many do you have, Freddie?
You have 3 seats at Monday Night Football game. $800 for all 3.
Well, no, the Monday Night Football, he doesn't have. I think these are like legit seats from the stadium, right?
I'm honestly,
They are. Do you not understand do you think he has tickets to the Joe Louis Arena, Jeff?
No, I'm saying for the game. He has tickets to the game.
Not for the game. No, he's saying he has seats, like physical seats.
Oh, physical
those stadiums. Palace, Joe Louis, and the Silverdome, physical seats for sale. He's going to be home Monday Night Football back in Michigan for whoever wants to buy them and pick them up.
See, you're the translator.
Where were you? I mean, but where were you thinking? Like all 3 of these stadiums are torn to the ground. What were you even thinking?
I'm not. I wasn't saying that there are seats in those stadiums. I was disregarding. I didn't know what the first part meant. I thought he just meant he had seats to the Monday Night Football game against the Bucs.
He is
I didn't know.
going, but he was saying he'd be
Clearly,
home for the
does not
game.
have seats in the stadiums. They're not no
Yeah,
longer.
I don't know what you were thinking then.
But I didn't know he was talking about physical seats. That's cool. That's badass. Shit.
I don't know what else.
I
I don't know what else.
At the Silver Dome. That's. I mean, what?
I don't know what else you would be thinking.
I thought he meant just tickets to the game. He's just selling tickets.
Why do you think he said the Palace, Joe Lewis, and
I'm trying to
Silver
figure
Dome?
that out. I was like, what the hell does that even mean? The first part.
This guy, man.
I don't even. I'm like, why would he mention all that? That makes
This
sense.
is just like the other day when we were talking about St. Louis or whatever, and you're like, oh, St. Louis, Kentucky. And there's no like you thought St. Louis was in Kentucky.
It's not even the same thing. That's geography. This is just reading.
No, but I'm just saying it's just like your brain, like it's just like you have a part of your brain that just completely shuts off for a moment.
Like you don't know what that feels like. All right.
No, dude, all the time. That's why when it happens to you, it pumps me up. It's not me. Cartier said I got 3 tickets to the Silverdome game for next Sunday. Great deal. Yeah, I'll give you tickets to the game at the Silverdome for $500 apiece.
Physical seats. I mean, hey, if anyone wants physical seats, hit up Freddie.
That's sick, actually, though. I wish I could get them. That's unbelievable. That is sick.
Freddie said he's texting you pictures of the seats.
Jeff's like, I'm done.
Are you at the stadium? Send a picture.
Yeah, Jeff's like, what section are you in?
What section are you in? Let me see it.
Let me see the picture. That's
Dude,
so funny. Dude.
You know what, dude? I'm so, you know what? I can't get over Xavier. And it's he's on my fantasy team too. Xavier Worthy.
Sorry, dude. I need him as well too. Hunch sent me a parlay. I took Hunch's parlay, and it has Xavier Worthy 40 yards in it. So I would love to get it as well.
Xavier says, mailbag, who are you guys going to be for Halloween? Better yet, make up a poll and let the chat decide. Yeah, no, on the second part. I can't imagine what you sickos would put in the poll.
Yeah.
I don't know what that would look like, but I will say, well, what are you guys going to be for Halloween? I'll flip the question.
I did say that the chat could put options in there for me. I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'll do it. Like
I would say some weird shit. I mean,
no, if they gave me realistic options, I would consider it. I'm still, because I think we need a couple, right? Like we need one for the show, for the Lions game that week. I'm sure we'll do like a costume in person, and then we'll probably go to like some different like Halloween events. I'm sure around town. So I need a couple different. I'm not going to be the same thing every time. I kind of want to go as Ricky Bobby one time. I want to order like a Ricky Bobby fit.
Let's see. Getaway One says Jeff's going to be Ben Johnson for Halloween. Sorry, I need to be. He's. We don't physically look like. I can't make it work. Getaway One. I mean, what do I do? Throw on a Bears hat, and then I would look like Ryan Poles.
That would if you put on a Bears hat, that would be like the worst thing to do, especially in Detroit for Halloween.
Would look like Mitch Trubisky.
I mean, you would just look like a bear. You would just look like a Bears fan.
It's not the look I'm going for here. You know what I'm saying? Diggity Dog says, get some assless chaps and dress like Caleb.
Is that what? Caleb?
That is a Caleb thing.
Is it actually?
Yeah, he's a big assless chaps guy.
I did not know that. Learn something new about people every day.
Yeah. You notice how he didn't get up much when on the watch party. You didn't see it. He had his ass cheeks out.
By the way, I had such a funny situation this weekend. If people didn't know, my brother's name's Caleb as well. So for stuff for social, I'll go to text Caleb like, hey, can we get this up? Can we do this? Can you do this? This weekend, I was texting Caleb to get some stuff up for Tigers and Lions. And I'm like, he's not responding, nothing. I just was texting my brother like to post stuff on social. He's like, you got the wrong Caleb. I'm like, oh, that's on me.
He's like, dude, what?
Oh my gosh, Travis Hunter just made an incredible catch, like a 50-yard catch.
Can we be real?
What?
What? I'm about to see the catch because I listen. Here's what I think about.
You got to let him get going a little bit. That man's playing both sides of the ball. I don't want to hear any slander. Let this man figure out in the NFL. It's already hard enough in the NFL to get things going.
Yeah.
Let the man. Come on now. Are you gonna say anything, or are you just gonna sit there and not? Are you be mute? We're on a show right now, dude. What are you mute for?
It was 5 seconds.
It was unreal. Yeah, but you were like, I gotta say something. You like had a take, and you just stopped talking.
What are you, my mom? I mean, I'm watching
Bro,
play.
that was incredible. Did you not? Am I the only in the chat? You left us on like the edge for like
you an
5
audience
minutes.
member? You have a microphone too, pal. All right.
Is
this a Jeff Iafrate show? Is this a Jeff Iafrate show?
I said something about Travis Hunter, and then I sat there and waited for you to say something. It was like 30 seconds, and you were like, I have a take, and you just didn't talk.
It was not 30 seconds.
I'm gonna go back and time it, bro. That was incredible.
Now
I was like, dude, are you like, you can't say I have a thought or a take and just like sit there and not say something for a minute.
Well, I'm watching the replay. I want to see the cat.
That was the longest pause of all time. I tried to fill the air for 30 seconds, and then there was another minute.
You're incapable of doing that.
No, I did, because you literally interrupted and said, I have a take.
No, okay. If you can't do it, I got you. Let me talk. All right, I got you.
That was incredible. That was so bad from you.
What I got you, bro.
What are you, my mom?
I'll pick up my teammate.
No, I need.
What I'm gonna say. What I was gonna say is Travis Hunter. Okay. Can we have an if he? I always thought he'd be better as a DB. Obviously, that was an incredible catch. If he's a okay corner and okay receiver, what is he?
You got to give him time. He's got to pick one or the other. I'm going back to time. How long you put us on the edge for there?
You know what? I sort of got to. I mean, you're so good at making things that no one notices the biggest deals.
It's good content,
and
right?
then everyone knows they happened. You do this.
It's great content.
That's why I love you.
That's why we do this job.
It's like something that no one would have noticed. You make sure everyone notices. And I will say that was an incredible catch by Travis Hunter. I mean, it really was. But I don't know. He was picked number 2 overall, correct? Like, I don't know.
235, you started and said, can we be real? And then you turned your head and you just didn't say anything.
For how long?
It started at 235. I'm seeing right now.
Were you talking? Are you talking, or is it just silence?
Oh, actually, I need to do a timer, because
you gonna talk, Boone, or what is going on?
Yeah, I'm doing this. I've told you this is
we have a show to do. What are we doing? This guy, we have a show.
I just started the timer. I'm starting the timer. Let's see. I'm starting the timer. He said we have a show to do. Oh, come on. Okay, that was kind of funny from you.
With a hip
Trevor Lawrence just got another touchdown. Now it's a tie game.
Well, Strange is out of the game.
Why? He's hurt?
Yeah, questionable with a hip injury. God.
That sucks, actually.
Fucking hate that guy now.
That actually sucks. I had his straight bet.
He sucks.
I had a straight bet. I had him 40 yards. He ended with 20-something. All right, it's kind of funny if you watch it back. It's 45 seconds of you going. You did this. You said, "Can I say something real about Travis Hunter?" And then you turned your head.
Yeah, well, the play was. I had to watch the play. You were like, watch this catch. I watched the catch. It's 20 seconds.
All right, fair enough.
I gotta watch.
It was a minute in between.
That what?
45 seconds. I just timed it.
Of me, I had to go watch what he just did. You're like, he just made it
45 seconds.
How long you think the play was?
It was 45 seconds. Well, your turn was 45 seconds.
How long do you think the play was?
Probably 10 seconds, and then you sat there for another 35. It was.
It was like 15, 20 seconds. So really, we're talking like not that long of me turning my head. All right.
I think it's so funny.
I have to watch the fucking play. I mean, what is it? I mean, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
It's all right, dude. No big deal.
God, I mean, this guy's a Karen. I found that out today. I mean,
we all are. Everyone has that in them.
Sure, but
you find that out about everyone.
That's what a Karen would say. We're all Karens. No, you're the.
We all
Karen.
are. Like
all right.
Phil's a Karen, being like, "Why are you still talking about that?" Karen comment.
Then Karen would point it out.
Did the Pistons win tonight? What was Cade's final stat line? Do you know? I could check here real quick.
No, you could check because I can't look away. I don't want to do that. But I will say
they're up 102 to 90. Cade Cunningham I
Was he at
don't
30?
think he played in the second. No, he just ended with 20, 24 and 3.
That's what matters. We'll be back
Yep.
tomorrow. Sam Flannel's joining tomorrow, 9 o'clock. So you're going to want to be there. Sam Flannel talking ball with us, talking baseball, talking football. We'll talk more about the game, talk a little bit about the Chiefs as well. But until then, we will catch you all.
Love you guys.
Peace.
See ya.